Alrighty, so as a recap, we worked with a 5-year-old little girl with Down syndrome. Our two goals that we came up with, well, I guess our three main ones were strength and cardio training, balance, and coordination. And so we came up with a short term goal of the patient will be able to balance on one leg for greater than 10 seconds in 3 months. And then our long term goal, the patient will be able to climb into the car with minimum to no assistance from parent in 6 months.
Okay, so some of the interventions we did, we did some balloon tap, standing and sitting on a BOSU ball. Just worked on some catching and throwing activities, and most of her time was spent doing an obstacle course that we kind of put together for her. She was really interested in doing it, so most of her time was spent there, and that consisted of like a 2 foot jump off of the treatment table to start out, and then she had to basically step over a blue step up or step onto it and over, and then step over a rope tied between two chairs. She had to crawl under a table, and then jump over two green pool noodles that we laid out, and then crawl under floor mats that we just kind of folded up for her to try to like squeeze through. And then she had to throw 3 balls over an obstacle. Then she got to the scooter board where she did a tummies. She just kind of sat on her tummy and had to like pull herself, and then she sat down and like did some like pushing back to kind of work on leg strength. Then she had to step over another rope tied between two chairs, and then we had a green step laid out after that for her to step up onto and jump off. And then we tried to get her to work on pivoting on this spin disc. That wasn't too successful, but we did the best we could there. And then we just had her kick a yoga ball. And after that, crawl over a foam roll, and then step up onto a BOSU ball and jump off, landing on 2 feet. And then she had to jump into a hula hoop and then out, just to continue working on jumping. And basically, we ended with her crawling up onto the treatment table to kind of just simulate that goal of crawling into the car that her parent had as a chief complaint.
So to narrow down, our top three goals are to work on balance, strength, and cardiovascular endurance.
And then things that we would do differently. When we were doing all of our interventions, she got really distracted by anybody else in the room. So I think working with her in a more closed environment would be beneficial. Instead of using the BOSU, because we had her tapping a balloon and getting her outside of her base of support, she was a little bit more unsturdy on the BOSU, so maybe changing that into being on top of an Airx instead, because it's a little bit sturdier. And then the obstacle we had her throwing over, it was really tough for her because she was little and it was very large, so maybe getting a smaller obstacle or even changing that to maybe hitting a target instead might have been better. And then just in order to get her mechanics right, I think we needed more block practice of any individual strength training that we did, and we kind of just didn't do that because she was just having so much fun with the obstacle course. And then we wanted to get some more core strengthening in because we noticed that she is pretty weak in her core. So that was it.
Thanks.